Oh my god, people. This chick Naho is about to make me rage. Jeez. Orange, episode 11. I don't even know how this video is gonna go. I'm probably gonna talk about one thing, even though two big things happened in this episode. It was one thing in particular. The actions of Naho that you would think that she would have learned by now to keep listening to the letter, do what the damn letter says, and everything would be okay. But the thing that she just did in this episode, 11 episodes down the drain, gone. Completely gone. And something I've always feared is that Kakeru will still be to the point of sadness, that he will still want to fucking off himself, and it looks like that is what's going to happen after Naho and her stupid decisions that transpired in episode of Orange, episode 11. I can't even get this out right, but anyway. So, it's New Year's Eve. And in a letter from future Naho and everybody else, it says that Kakeru and Naho are going to have an argument on this day. And that was the last time that Naho heard from him, because he stayed distant for a while. And then after that is when the accident or the suicide happened. So, basically what transpired on this day is that Kakeru's grandmother got sick. And he was out with Naho on a date. It was a date that everybody planned to get together, and that leads to the second thing. So the two have some time together, and Kakeru's talking about, his grandmother. He's like, look, my grandmother's sick, and if I lose my grandmother, then I won't have anybody left. The letter says that this is the same conversation that they had, and the Naho of the future said at the time she told him, your grandmother will be okay, don't worry. Just get your worries aside and let's go have fun. The whole point of this series was to clear up regrets and to do things differently. So what does Naho do in this episode? She does the exact same thing that she done before. She did absolutely nothing different. In fact, she might have even made it worse, because Kakeru mentions this again. He's like, look, my grandmother's sick. She's not feeling good. I want to go see her, because if I lose my grandma, I don't have anyone left. I'll be alone. She basically says, you won't be alone. Your grandmother will be okay. And she said this because she knows that the grandmother is alive 10 years in the future. But she's like, your grandmother will be okay. You won't be alone. You have us. Stay with me. And I'm like, what? What are you? This is the same thing that the letter told you not to do. So, understandably, Kakeru gets pissed about that, because remember, because he stayed and hung out with them, his mother committed suicide on the opening ceremony, and Kakeru actually points this out. He gets pissed. He was like, how do you know things are going to be okay? This is probably the same thing that happened with my mother. You can't say everything is going to be okay. You don't know that. I wasn't there for my mother. She died. My grandmother's sick and I'm not there for her. She could die too. And right now, all you want to do is say everything is going to be okay and stay with me. She tries to reach out for him. He slaps her hand away. He's like, I don't want to hear from you anymore. And he goes off. Everything we worked for in this series has been down the drain, and she tries to call him later, and he actually takes his phone and slams it and breaks the phone. And once again, the same history that happened repeated itself once again. As you gotta look at it, sometimes when you're dealing with time travel, but it's a hard pill to swallow, but things can't be changed. It looked like that's what's happening, and something that I always feared in this series is that Kakeru was probably still going to die, but I didn't think it was going to be this drastic, that everything that they had, even knowing that what's going to happen in the future, is still going to come to light. Now, there's still a little bit of hope there with Suwa, which is the other big part of the episode, where we get some time with him in the future, where he was saying that he kind of regrets marrying Naho, or not regret, he always knew how Kakeru felt, and he feels that he stole Naho from Kakeru. And everybody else is like, oh no, that's not true, that's not true. But Suwa in his heart feels that way, because he knows that they only got married because Kakeru died. If Kakeru didn't die, then they probably wouldn't have been together. And this all happened because Suwa showed up when Naho just had to fight with Kakeru, and then he, embraced her and told him how he feels, and from there, that set the course for them being married and having a kid later, and that comes up as well. So Suwa's still stepping up, still being best boy, still being the best friend that you could ever hope to have, as he says, nothing's going to change in that world. Let's make a new one. Let's make a better one, not only for ourselves, but for Kakeru. And he does see a crying Naho, but instead of confessing his feelings for her at that moment, he just, you know, confirms that he's there for her. He will always be there for her. But he's also going to make sure that he's going to do whatever he has in his power to make sure that these two become a couple, or that they'll be okay. So, you know, Naho, at that point, she goes and tries to apologize to Kakeru, and just like I said, he actually crushed his phone, threw it away when she tried to call him back, because I don't blame him. I don't blame him at all. And think about it, if Kakeru has to go through all this to be with Naho, imagine what Suwa had to go through. Or was it that easy for him? Because maybe she really did want him all along. I mean, her as a character making me look at her completely different at this point. And I'm starting to question the outcome, because I'm pretty sure, again, Kakeru is going to try to kill himself. Maybe he'll be saved at that point, but I think the best thing for him is to not be with Naho right now. Maybe they just need to make sure he doesn't die. Find him somebody, hook him up with Takako or Azu or somebody. Just get him away from Naho, because she's definitely not the best thing for him. And if she is, I don't know how anymore. I mean, I've been holding it back. I've been nice. I've been lenient on her as a character because I thought she was going to get better. But she's actually gotten worse. And we only got like maybe 2 episodes. I think it's going to be 13 to clear these things up. Maybe she'll have a big turnaround in these next 2 episodes. Maybe Kakeru will forgive her. But right now, I don't know. Props to Suwa for still being there, even though everybody's telling them, you know, maybe we should change the future. Maybe you should go for your own happiness and tell her how you feel. He's like, no, we promised that we were going to make things better, and we're going to do it regardless of what happens. So I can't be mad at him about that. So that was the episode in a nutshell, guys. If you like this video, go ahead and drop it a like. And if you want to hear more, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. There's not a shortage of content for you guys to indulge on this channel. And as I always say, you guys can be anywhere on YouTube right now, but you chose to listen to me. And I really appreciate that. So thanks for stopping by. I usually break down the episode a little bit more, but just to go in on Naho and to commend Suwa is all that needs to be said for this episode, so I'm going to go ahead and end it here. Thanks for joining me. It's your boy Infrar-Ed signing out. See you soon.